Hi everybody, Martin here at TLP. I figured it was about time I addressed some of the issues of my room. I've gotten some pretty good mixes out of this room, but it's only with a lot of effort listening on 3 sets of speakers and headphones, and I think it's about time that I invested a little bit of money in my room itself as opposed to more gear. So I've set up a little experiment here using one of my good mics. And I want you to see this experiment. Give me your opinion about what you think it means. Okay, for those of you who don't know, I'm running DigiDesign's Pro Tools LE 8.0 or somewhere in that vicinity on a Digi 002. I'm currently monitoring on these KRK Rocket 5 speakers. I've kind of grown accustomed to them, although I used to listen a lot on the Tenoys you see there, the PBM8s. I wanted to try a little smaller speaker and get a little bit of a different idea of what my mixes sounded like on a different set of speakers, so I bought the Rocket 5. Down around here you'll notice on the floor, barely visible, is a 10-inch KRK subwoofer. So I've added that to the mix, and that's where I've begun to see some problems in my room. For my experiment, I set up here an instance of structure and put a sine wave up there, made it monophonic, and so that it would pump out just a simple sine wave. After that, I set up a track to play an E note at several octaves, starting with an E at octave -1, then E at octave 0, E at octave 1, so on and so forth, all the way through octave 8 at 5-second intervals. Then below that, I recorded the output to a separate channel through a bus on the Digi 002. So that audio file is essentially the output from what structure did with those E notes. Okay, so let's let it roll. Okay, here we go. So there's the end of the E-note waves. We'll stop the recording for now. So this is the resulting wave, and interesting stuff, huh? If we look at this and zoom in, it's hard to see on the view that I've got here, I suppose, exactly what's going on, but actually the wave tracks pretty well. There's some room noises, shaking of the room, whatnot. A little less responsive at this E note, less responsive again at this E note. Really unresponsive at that E note, although it seemed loud in the room. A little more here. As we go higher and higher, those 2 E notes are, and this one, these 3 actually are, give out the same wave. Then we jump back down, and the last one is just up a little bit. Okay, so I could just go get some Auralex or Prime Acoustic or other commercially available room treatments. I could build some stuff from plans on the internet, do some do-it-yourself things. But all I know from that is that it would change it, maybe not necessarily for the better, but just change it. So if I'm going to get used to a poorly tuned room, I might as well get used to this one as opposed to putting a lot of money into a bunch of stuff that just changes it and doesn't really make it better. So the question is, how do I make this better? How do I set up tests and so on and so forth? So I'm looking at for your suggestions. I'm also reading a lot of material, and I'll take your suggestions and match it up to that material and see what we're doing. There are people out there that say, hey, anything's better than nothing, and yet, is that true? Don't know. So let me know what you think.